Leon asked if they had been discovered in other places as well, and that they should be destroyed quickly. Kang replied that he would have to inform the US government as soon as possible. Leon responded that Kang should do so, but warned that the government might have already fallen under the demon's influence. Then, Tenny passed through a gate where some researchers were working. Leon asked if that was where the Jagdi spinner was being kept. Kang confirmed that it was safe and sound. When Leon saw the Jagdi spinner, he used his power, telling the loyal knight that he could rest, and a yellow ray appeared. He then found the Jagdi spinner starting to move again. The Jagdi spinner made sounds, and Leon thought that the energy was divine power, even though there was no visible energy source. He guessed that divine blessings had created a miracle. Then the main part of the Jagdi spinner emerged. Leon remarked that it was the one chosen by the goddess, and he drew his sword. He did something that caused the yellow light to appear again, shocking the onlookers. Then he slashed the sword, and all the people saw a lady appear. Kang was surprised to see her. Leon thought that all the humans present could feel that the woman of brilliant light wasn't human. Perhaps she was a divine being incomparable to anything else. Leon referred to her as Goddess Ariana. She recognized him and asked what had happened. He reminded her that the Jagdi spinner was there, and that it was an honorable knight and a role model to all other knights, deserving of her care. Ariana replied that it hadn't fulfilled her request, hadn't proven its honor, nor had it offered its glory to her. Leon guaranteed her, as her first knight, that if it weren't for its existence, the Jagdi spinner would be befitting of the High Lion Heart's glory, as it was a great knight. She responded that if Leon praised it so much, there was no need for her to look further, but she needed to be certain of one thing. She then referred to the Jagdi spinner as the Steel Knight and asked if it would worship the light and sing of justice by enlisting in the Ingenar Knights military. The Jagdi spinner made a sound. Ariana said that although it was full of honor and knowledge, its heart was still that of a child. She asked Leon to help her knight rid the world of evil, and then it would truly become a knight. The Jagdi spinner emitted sounds and began hacking the signal pattern of the language. A language module was being installed. It then confirmed that it was a good plan. Ariana then said that as long as the Jagd spinner remained loyal and supportive of her first knight, she would share her glory with it. She made the yellow light fall on the Jagdi spinner. Leon thought that the Grail Knight was being granted light and justice. Meanwhile, at the USA's Magic Tower, in Master Hainold Sherman's room, someone apologized, saying they were unable to fulfill the other person's command. The other person replied that they couldn't even accomplish a simple task, despite being taught wisdom and truth, expressing disappointment. They then asked for the news to be turned on. The man agreed. The entity expressing anger was a red orb, which started watching TV. Then Leon introduced himself, causing the red orb to become frightened and wonder where and how he had appeared. The man was shocked to see the red orb's reaction. The red orb surrendered, saying it would never do that again. As the redness faded from the orb, the man screamed in astonishment. The scene shifts back to the Korea Hunter Association, where Kang mentioned that they would accept the Jagdi spinner as a guild member, although it might be difficult to implement immediately. Leon replied that it didn't matter. After that, Leon and the Jagdi spinner left together for a walk. The Jagdi spinner made some sounds, and suddenly a black liquid emerged from Leon's mouth. Ariana asked if he was all right. He replied that he was fine and explained that nominating a knight in a land lacking sufficient divinity had taken a toll on him. The Jagdi spinner tried to communicate something to Leon. Leon responded that it wasn't its fault, but his own for not being stronger. Ariana asked how it could be his fault and suggested it was because she was lacking. Leon replied that, regardless of the situation, he couldn't blame divinity and asked her not to say such things. She responded that she was always grateful for his loyalty, but if the land lacked divinity, that was natural and the fault of the other gods for not stepping in earlier. She asked him to have faith in her gods and wait for them. Ariana then spoke to her brothers and sisters, urging them to help Leon. The day the King of the Lion Heart turned 121 was the day the world ended. Only one knight remained, who expelled all the dignity in his world and directed it into his own heart. Embarrassingly enough, a god evacuated to his heart as the king of the lion heart slaughtered all the evil monsters for 180 years. They let him carry the burden of the whole world on his own, and thus all the gods of the pantheon owed an unpayable debt to Leon. In Arisa, Ariana was sitting with a lady. The lady asked about the condition of the baby. Ariana replied that it wasn't good and that her knight had pushed himself too hard. The lady asked what to do next. Petun slammed his throne and questioned how appointing a single Grail Knight could place so much pressure on Leon's body. He wondered where the king of the lion heart, whose glory shone with the brilliance of the gods, had gone. Ariana replied that Leon still had the same dignity and that he had fought for them for more than 200 years and, in the end, had won. Pitos replied that he also knew that, and that's why he was mad at himself. Ariana said that after 180 years, the time had come to break their silence, and she couldn't watch as a knight suffered in pain any longer. Then Heto said he had an idea. Ariana asked him to share it. He replied that, just as life flourished in the plains, they should give whatever blessings they could to raise faith within society. Pitos asked if he meant they should do missionary work. Heto agreed, suggesting they would show divine miracles and, based on what they had observed from life's followers, use the internet to their advantage since that world was connected through it. Pitos asked why the king of the lion heart hadn't thought of that idea, considering he used to be a citizen of that world. Heto replied that Leon was in that world before the internet became prevalent. Ariana inquired about the Jagdish spinner, the trial and error, and the news that Leon had shared, which took 20 years to take root. Heto explained that it was time for a new Grail Knight to step in. The scene shifts to Kim, who was working when a man asked him to take a look at something. Kim was confused and asked what it was. The man replied that it was YouTube and wondered if it was permitted. Kim was puzzled about YouTube until he saw a video titled Naju Plains by a YouTuber. He noticed a live stream and thought it was filled with clickbait, yet it was of high quality for no apparent reason. The video was translated into 104 languages. Kim wondered who made it. The man asked if it wasn't Leon. Kim replied that Leon could be on YouTube. The man then asked if it was Hari. Kim replied that Hari was always stuck with the computer, and the big issue was that all the videos weren't clickbait but real, leaving him to wonder what to do. He pondered what was going on before saying he was going out. The man asked where Kim was going. Kim replied that he was going to meet Leon. The scene then shifts to the room where Leon was staying. The Jagdish spinner was working on a laptop and announced that the subtitle creation was completed before uploading a video. Hari entered the room, asking the Jagdish spinner if he had finished using her laptop and what he had done. The Jagdish spinner replied that the plan, named Noise Marketing, had completed Phase 1 and was proceeding to Phase 2, which involved network hacking. Hari thought the Jagd spinner might have been playing games. At the Naju Plains, the Pantheon Guild Naju Plains branch, albeit temporary, Kim arrived and informed Leon that the video needed to be taken down. Hari, feeling puzzled, then offered him some tea. He thanked her for the gesture. After drinking, he proceeded to discuss the video and its uploader. Leon revealed that it was Spin who uploaded it. Kim was curious about Spin's identity. Hari pointed towards the Jagdish spinner, shocking Kim upon realizing that a machine was responsible for uploading the video. Then Leon inquired about removing the video. Kim explained that the rice grains in Naju Plains were distinctly different from those grown elsewhere. Simply consuming them was sufficient to cure diseases and promote health, akin to a fairy tale. Once people discovered this field, a flood of visitors from around the world would descend upon Naju Plains, potentially leading to rampant thievery. Moreover, these wouldn't be ordinary thieves. Once the Food Administration permitted cultivation, the association intended to offer as much assistance as possible, but until then it was wise to wait. Leon acknowledged Kim's concerns, acknowledging that Kim had his own set of laws and systems, but he deemed the worry unnecessary, and the goddess plantation couldn't be stolen. Kim wondered how Leon could be so confident. As they approached the rice field, some cars belonging to the thieves arrived. One remarked that the rice grains must have been real, while another questioned what they were seeing. They had anticipated maximum security, but found nothing. Their only task was to obtain the seeds and set the place ablaze. The leader announced that they already had the money for the job and instructed to bring out the gasoline tanks. The thieves rushed into the field, only to encounter a figure. As they drew nearer, they realized it was a scarecrow. The man apologized for the mistake, attributing it to the illusion of movement caused by the wind. However, as they looked around, they were startled to find numerous scarecrows appearing out of nowhere. One of them mocked the scared individual, questioning how someone seemingly demonic could be frightened by scarecrows. Dismissing the fear, they focused on their task, sensing the wind's direction and strategizing to burn the largest area possible in the shortest time. They swiftly retrieved the seeds from storage, ready to execute their plan. Then they spread the oil barrels around, and one asked if that was all. The leader replied that since it was supposed to be genuine, they should keep some seeds for themselves. He instructed Mansu and Jinti to do the same. However, upon looking around, he noticed that the two of them were missing and wondered where Doosan had gone. Hi guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoy the content.